Jesse Ventura has a new book out called American Conspiracies, and it's an excellent overview of some of the major forces that have been guiding the American population. The book is number 4 on Amazon, and Jesse's one of the few people that can, get this kind of information out to the public and actually have it discussed by the national media. His TruTV show is the highest rated show in TruTV history. I got a chance to meet him for the first time when he came into New York recently. As soon as I told him I was from High Times, the first thing Jesse said before I could even get my camera turned on was he wanted to know if he could be a judge at the Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam.
Okay.
And we'd love to have you as a judge anytime you want to show up. Okay, celebrity judge.
All right.
And we're gonna, you would choose what you want to judge. People that use cannabis typically don't use hash. People who use hash don't use cannabis.
Okay.
We got 2 different kinds of cannabis, 2 different kinds of hash, and you can just pick one of those areas.
Okay.
So that'll narrow you down to 30 strains. Okay?
Now, wait a minute.
Right,
How
now-
many days does this take?
I'm going to give you all 30 strains.
What are you talking about?
And then 2 days later, or 3 days later, depending on your intake, we're going to come back and we're going to go through the bags and we're going to see which bag is almost gone and which bags have hardly been touched. I guarantee you will find it.
Really?
You will find it. If you have enough of it.
I know that it'll work if you make one bag pot and all the rest hemp. That'll work.
No. What's going to happen is you're going to smell the bags.
Okay.
Something's going to jump out at you.
Okay.
And that's going to become your favorite.
Okay.
And it's going to take you a day or 2 to figure it out, but you're going to figure it out quicker than you would think.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. And you're not looking for what's strong either. You're looking for it's the wow factor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's what you look for.
Because I sat and thought, how does one judge this? After you go to the first one, you could be fried. You get to the next and think, well, what did this one do after the first one?
Kind of like wine.
Right
your mouth and spit it out, right?
Do all that stuff.
There's
see, wine has a taste to it,
There's a telepathic enhancement too when you're around 4,000 people and they're all higher than they've ever been in their life. It feeds into what's coming into your head too.
Now,
so that
I got to ask you, isn't it in November?
Yeah, it's always Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
It's a harvest festival.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing.
Okay.
So, and we got a medical one happening in California in June.
You may not have to have
19th.
medical after next year, right?
I hope not. Wouldn't it be amazing?
Yeah,
hey,
I'm hoping.
You think the hemp vote got you elected governor?
The
marijuana people got behind you big time because you were pro-hemp when you ran, right?
I don't know.
Wasn't it kind of a surprise that you won? Kind of didn't.
Not to me.
Oh, not to you.
Not to me. I never go into anything to lose.
Right.
I knew that I had the ability to win, and I knew that they made the fatal mistake. The Democrats did. They tried to do something that, on the surface, looked on the up and up.
Right.
Well, the Democrats felt. Here's the real thing. They felt with my fiscal conservative position that I would take votes from the Republican. So the Democrats said they would not debate unless I was included. And I sat back in the corner like a Cheshire cat. And I said, you have no idea that is the biggest mistake you just made in the election. Because they included me, because I go on a simple premise with Democrats and Republicans. If I can debate them, I can beat them. Because they have so much baggage, and I have no baggage.
Right.
And the way you have no baggage is admit everything beforehand. I've told people, sure, I've smoked pot.
Right.
I grew up in the 60s. If you didn't smoke pot in the 60s, you either didn't grow up there or you're a damn liar. They didn't bother with that. They attacked my children. Oh, yeah. Why do you think I don't talk to the Minnesota media and haven't talked to them since I got out of office? They attacked my son. That's where they went after me.
Was that the drinking in the mansion part story?
Drinking, yeah.
How did that whole thing come about?
Well, it came about because I fired a disgruntled employee. And so he saw his opportunity to get his 15 minutes of fame, so he trumped up this thing on my son. And the unique thing about it, when he did it, my son was 22. To the best of my knowledge, 22 allows you to drink, I believe, anywhere in the country, if you're 22 years old. And my point was the media just took it and ran. They never asked this guy any questions, and all they had to do was ask this guy one question that would have debunked the whole thing. And you know what that was? Well, you're only in the residence from 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. How would you possibly know whether the governor's son was drinking at night when you weren't there?
Right.
He went home every day at 5. And not only that, you've got a uniformed state trooper in that building 24 hours, 7 days a week. He's there as any law enforcement person will enforce the law. And he probably wouldn't have busted my son if he knew that, but he certainly would have came to me and said, Governor, there's a problem.
What is the problem with having a party on a Friday night?
You tell me.
Yeah, why is that an issue with anything?
Well, you tell me.
Why? I mean, wouldn't you expect your kids to have parties? I mean,
You tell me.
isn't that an essential part of
And
life?
they went so far as the CBS affiliate in Minnesota, Channel 4, put their I-team on it. Because we found out later they were questioning my son's friends to find out if he ever did drugs, if he ever did anything like that. So they were attempting to get me via my son.